What is up, everybody? I'm super happy you can join me today. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a kickflip. We're going to level up in skateboarding in the skill tree. Kickflips are probably like one of the most known skateboard trick ever, and learning it will just make you that much better of a skateboarder. Plus it will be like one of the first skateboard tricks where you seriously feel accomplished landing it. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I'm going to try my best to explain to you how to do it. It's going to take a lot of practice, a lot of determination, and I'm always here for you if you need to ask me any questions in the comment section. I'd totally be glad to help you out. The tricks to know before this is you are definitely going to want to know how to ollie. Ollieing is pretty much the only thing you're going to need for this, and I mean the more tricks that you know the better, but really that's all you need for this trick. But let's get started with some foot placement. So you want to have your feet kind of like how you do for an ollie. So if you ollie like this, you're going to want to kickflip about the same, except you're going to point your foot a little bit more. You're going to have this foot directly aligned with the middle of your tail, and you're going to pop off the middle of your tail as well. So you're going to pop straight down into the center of your tail right here. So I like to put my foot about right here. It's very similar to my ollie. I ollie about like this, with this foot directly in the center of the tail, and then this foot is just a little bit below the bolts, perpendicular with the board. For a kickflip, you're going to want to just point that foot a little bit more. I like to keep my back foot pretty much the same as I do for an ollie. My front foot is just a little bit pointed. That's pretty much the only difference for me. Go ahead and find out what's comfortable. What you're going to do is you're going to pop down like you do for your ollie, and as soon as your tail meets the ground, you're going to start your flicking process. So you're going to flick about a line right there. You can see the mark that it just made on my grip tape from that little flick motion right there, about like that. Starting from where you usually ollie with a slightly pointed front foot and kick off in a diagonal direction, almost like you're drawing a line through this bolt off to the edge right there. It's similar to like a spiral on a football if you want to think of it like that. So as soon as you pop your back foot and your back foot starts to lift like you do with ollies, then your front foot's going to come in and flick, and then it's going to rotate, and then you're going to catch it in the air with your back foot and then put it down. Of course, you can do all sorts of practice steps. That really helps out a lot. As an example of a practice step, you're just gonna do like you were gonna do it, except take this foot off. And just put your foot on and safety it. Do that a couple times so you get really comfortable with it. And you can start doing it with your front foot. Once you get comfortable with your practice steps, you can put it all together and finally land it. Of course, that's going to take a lot of practice, and it's not going to be as easy as that. Some people it actually is, who knows, you might actually land it, but chances are you're going to have to practice for this one quite a bit. Just give it a good pop like you do for ollies. Your front foot kind of does the same thing. It levels out the board when you're in the air, just like the ollie. So when I ollie, this foot pushes that way and it kind of levels the board out. It's kind of the same thing with kickflips. You're going to pop, and then this foot flicking is going to level the board out. The goal here is to just get that pop, flick, catch motion all as one motion. You just pop like I was saying, you just flick off that little line right there. And catch it with your back foot and land it. Also keep in mind, if your board's not flipping all the way, if it's kind of like doing this sort of thing, then you might want to move your foot a little bit further back, not too far back though. Just like a tiny amount, and then flick a little bit harder. If your board is flipping too fast, then you might want to move your foot up a little, and that will help slow it down. It's all about timing, patience, and practice. You're probably going to land your first kickflip standing still, not rolling anywhere. Some people actually need to roll to do this trick. It might just be like how you learn it. If you're already comfortable with rolling around and doing ollies over things, then you might actually want to do a kickflip while rolling instead. But anyway, I'm going to move on to just getting several different angles so you can see the trick in all of its glory. See how it's popped and flicked and caught. Alright, now that we've covered almost everything, we definitely want to cover common problems. The most common kickflip problems are turning in midair, landing too far up on the board,
not being confident enough in your ability,
doing what's called a rocket kickflip, which is where you kickflip but the board never levels out. Instead it just kind of like rockets up to the moon. Almost all of it is caused by your shoulders. Shoulders have a huge part to do with your skateboarding. If they're slightly turned or tilted or leaning too far back, chances are you're gonna fall off in that direction, or you could slip out in those directions. So your shoulders are a big deal. If you're leaning too much this way, your board's gonna go out behind you. Too much this way, your board's gonna go out in front of you. Lean this way, your board's gonna go out in front of you. Lean this way, your board's gonna go behind you. So you just kind of want to stay right over your board, and then that should keep your board nice and straight. Make sure that your shoulders are aligned with the board. Make sure that you're popping straight down on the center of your tail. That'll keep the board coming up nice and straight. And of course, make sure that you're flicking outward. You don't want to flick up like this, and you don't want to flick down like that. You want to flick almost like straight forward. And that'll level out your board nice and flat, and then you just come right back down, directly centered on top of it. And when you start landing kickflips going straight and keeping them straight, then it's a lot easier to do them down things. So hopefully that fixes any common problems that you're gonna run into while trying to kickflip. I really do hope this helps a lot. If it did, leave a like, comment below. Make sure to leave your own kickflip tips down below in case I missed any. I'm sure the beginners would love to hear from you. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified of my newest videos. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful day and go kickflip everything in sight.
Thanks! The sun was in my eyes, so if it was bad, that's the sun's fault.